Hi everyone, my name is Brenda and I'm from pitchIN. So welcome to our Get to Know the Founders session where we would like you, the investor, to know more about our issuers and their stories. So we will spend about 10 minutes speaking to these founders and about their companies and ask them about 7 to 8 questions about themselves and what they do. So after that, we will wrap up this session with a set of rapid fire questions. So today we are sitting down with Kelvin to know more about Bodus. They are a modern market research company in Malaysia that partners with online publishers to instantly survey consumers to generate accurate insights. So they are currently pre-live on pitchIN and they aim to raise 3 million ringgit with this campaign. So without any further ado, I would like to welcome Kelvin to our session today. Welcome.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Kelvin Goh and I graduated with a PhD in physics and I'm the founder and CEO of Bodus.
All right, thank you so much. So we're going to go straight to the questions and we're going to go all the way back to the beginning, right? So what's the story behind Bodus? Why did you start it?
So it was towards the end of 2014 when I was in Nottingham, UK. Okay. Finally finished writing up my PhD thesis in physics after 8 long months of continuous writing. So I decided to take my mind off physics. So as a PhD scientist, I learned that not to take any scientific result on its face value, right? When I look at the sample size and survey method that they use for the election polls, I was shocked. They are trying to predict an election of 44 million voters with only 1,000 samples. And statistically, that is impossible to get any accurate results. Then I found out that surveys are very expensive to run. An average survey response costs about 2 ringgit 50 cents, meaning for every answer that they give, the client had to pay 2 ringgit 50 cents. Then I asked, why is it so expensive? Well, who responds to surveys these days? Do you? I guess not. Yeah. And this is a problem because if no one responds to surveys, the result won't be accurate. And I also realized that this problem don't just exist in election polls, but also in market research, where every business and governments around the world are using the same flawed survey method to gather market and consumer insights. And this is a huge $90 billion problem. So I challenged myself. If I can create a solution where I can get everyone, including yourself, willing to respond to my survey, I can generate market and consumer insight that is much more accurate than the traditional survey method. And that's how Bodus was born.
What were you doing before running the company? I mean, you mentioned about your thesis.
Not really. Before this, I was working in academia. And as a research scientist, I specialize in the field of quantum molecular dynamics.
What is a typical day for you at the company?
I have meeting with my teams in the morning. There's a client meeting, then I'll meet the client and say a pitch, which I have done with you, and also prepare some proposals, monitor the operations, or create new partnerships to expand my business.
So what would you say is the most gratifying thing about running the company? What keeps you motivated to keep going?
Being able to see my brainchild, the OMTOS survey technology, the one question media tracking online survey method, become a reality and function as I envisioned from the very beginning 7 years ago when I was writing my PhD thesis. Like Coca-Cola or Mr. DIY, Unilever, believe in my method and use my invention to strategize their business, and that is also very gratifying.
All right. So I mean, all these big names and things like that. So I'm sure they come with very high customer satisfaction, and how does that usually affect your team? Is your team also as motivated? Yes, definitely. Whenever I tell them that there is always we have a big project working for some big that everyone knows about, and they also very particularly excited and work extra hard to make sure that right. So, in contrast to that, what would you say is some of the challenges that might keep you awake at night? The new challenges and changes that will perturb my grand plan in some way or another. And I will sometimes stay up till quite late at night trying to figure out the impact of that change and try to find a solution to mitigate or turn it into an opportunity. My business to the next level. All right. So what would you say are some of the minor challenges that you faced maybe in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Mainly on the tech side, trying to create a unified system
in the tech space, you have the browser, you have the Android, the iOS. They all use very different technologies.
They speak different languages sometimes.
Yeah, it's very difficult. So that's why we need to always come up with a solution and to satisfy all three of one solution.
Is there anyone out there that you particularly look up to, or maybe like a business CEO, maybe someone close to you, or a sports icon that you particularly like?
Do you know Sir Alex Ferguson?
I've heard of his name, yes.
So if you watch football, then you know him. He's one of the most successful manager in football. And he's the former manager of Manchester United. So what I really admire about him is his ability to maintain his success for over 35 years of his career. That highlights his incredible ability to consistently adapt with changing times, create and lead a team of individuals who are very talented, and also shows an incredible hunger for success.
So what would you say is, your favorite moment of Alex Ferguson?
I would say it would be when he won the treble in 1999. And every Man United or football fan would have known that moment. And United won the Champions League, the Premier League. So no other team in English football has ever achieved that feat, even until today.
So this is the last question, and we're going to bring it all the way back to the company, right? So what would you say is your aspiration, for the company overall in the long run?
So my mission is to make our innovative survey technology the gold standard in market research and election polls, and completely replace the traditional survey method. But the potential of my technology does not end there. As you know, people around the world have tried very hard to predict the capital markets. But one key thing that they are missing is the ability to predict where billions of consumers will be spending their money on. As you know, consumer spending accounts for a major chunk of the economy. And we have that consumer data technology that can make accurate prediction of the consumer spend. That's why my vision is to use our consumer data technology that is proven to generate highly accurate market and consumer insights to go one step further and successfully predict the capital markets. And by then, I'm confident that we'll be a very profitable company.
Thank you for that. That is all for the questions that we have on this side. So before we end the session, we're going to play this quick game called Rapid Fire Questions. And basically, I will give you two options and you have to choose between this or that. It's supposed to be no pressure, there's no right answer, whatever you have at the top of your head.
Okay.
So first question, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Delivery or dine-in?
Dine-in.
Dine-in. Okay, work from home or office?
Home.
Microsoft or Google?
Microsoft.
So I know that you're from Penang. So KL or Penang?
Definitely Penang.
So thank you so much, Kelvin. Those are all the questions that we have for you today. But before we end this video, we would like to get a final message from yourself and Vodus to all your potential investors out there.
My final message to all my potential investors out there is this. It's very rare to find a truly innovative company that pioneers a groundbreaking technology that solves a huge global problem, much less a Malaysian company at that. And the opportunity of investing in such company is now presented in front of you. Seize this opportunity now and join us in changing the world.
Wow. All right. Very inspirational. We love it. All right. So thank you so much, Kelvin, for being here today. To those of you who are currently watching, please find their campaign page on www.equity.pitchin.my, where you can also post any of your questions that you have for Kelvin or his team in the Q&A section over there. So thank you for sticking with us all the way to the end, and we will see you next time.